Okay, I'm going to fit a new spring, newer rear spring. It's 95 Newton meter spring, and currently the spring on there is an 80. So to do that, I'm going to lift the rear fuel tank to take the shock out. Shock's in there. So to do that, I'm going to take the exhaust off and lift the rear tank. What you have to do, very important, just down here, you can't see, it's quite dark, the fuel quick connector, you've got to disconnect that before you lift the rear tank, otherwise you will break it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I'm nearly ready to lift up the fuel tank. Down here, quite difficult to see, there you go, that's the quick connector you've got to disconnect before you lift the tank. It's going to pivot on the upper mount, and I've disconnected the lower mount, so it's ready to lift up. Okay, so I've used some string just to hold it up, as I needed to be able to move the swing arm just to get the shock bolts out. See the upper mount here, the lower mounts there. Okay, the shock's over here. There's the old spring. Now I've wound the collar, locking collar and the retaining collar all the way down. This spring here is quite large, with a 20mm preload on it. I measured the length before I undid the locking caps. So to get this off, that is your locking bit there, what holds the spring in place. So you've got to push the spring down and slide it off. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new spring on. Okay, the new spring's fitted. I've wound up the collar. Now I need to just use the wrench. Yeah, this is part of your KTM toolkit, so it should be in your kit. No need to buy another one. So I'm just going to adjust it so the spring length is the same as before, same as the old length. Okay, the shock's refitted. What I have done is just put some marks on the locking ring and the retaining ring, just some witness marks, so I'll keep an eye on that, make sure the locking ring's not coming undone. So I've put a mark on either side. So that's fitted, and I'll just need to, in reverse process, lower the fuel tank and put everything back together.